so glad. I find out when you call my name, and you know I'm gonna treat you right.
December 31st is just around the corner. We have the artistic director of the Saskatoon Jazz Orchestra, Dean McNeil, with us. Dean and Jessica, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us on your program.
I want to talk a little bit about the Saskatoon Jazz Orchestra
Sure.
and maybe give us some background of what's going to be happening coming
You
up.
bet. So the SJO has been around for about 10 years now, and we have a concert series at the Broadway Theatre where we do a variety of things. Some concerts are kind of retrospective, some are highly artistic, involving poets and all kinds of things. And a couple years ago, I started working with TCU Place to program something special for New Year's Eve. We don't normally play dances or things like that, but this opportunity seemed too good to pass up. So we've got this idea of bringing the SJO together with TCU Place to create a very special night to remember on December 31st. This is the second year we've done it. We tried it last year. It was a huge success and quite exciting, to be honest, coming right out of COVID to do something like that. And so the first half of the concert, or the night rather, is what you could call concert music. So there's this beautiful 4-course meal involved, and we've got some music and some special guests paired to each of the courses. And so after the meal, then we have a night of dancing. So so the SJO is really excited to be doing things all throughout our community, building the cultural capital of the community. And I know people don't like to talk about COVID, but we're still coming out of that, and I very much appreciate and celebrate, and I'm thankful for opportunities to come together in community with one another. And music generally is very special at doing that. And this night and this group, and we're delighted to be working with just wonderful talents like Jessica. It's going to be very special. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're really excited to be doing it. And we're happy to be working with our partners at TCU Place to put it all together.
You're correct in the fact that last year it was magical and a huge success. Is there anything that you look for in terms of music selection and pieces that the orchestra likes to play? And
we've been working on that, because it's actually quite a complicated dance. We have 3 guest artists, 3 vocalists, and when you're trying to find repertoire, you need to find the right song and the right key and the right arrangement. You need to get access to it. We then need to find time to rehearse. The dance music is a little more straightforward. We've got a book of tunes that we play all the time. But getting the concert portion right is always a kind of a Rubik's Cube of activities, right? But I think we're pulling it off. I think we've got a whole bunch of, we met the other day and we've got a lot of music. We're gonna have to pare down some things. So it's the repertoire is a deal breaker. You can have great musicians, but if you don't have the right repertoire, it's like being a cook. You're only as good as your ingredients.
Exactly.
Kind of thing, right?
And Jessica, maybe bring you in on that note. If there was something that you found that you liked last year that you want to reimagine this year, what would that be, do you think?
Well, just the entire experience was magical for everyone, for the performers, for the people attending. And so just to keep that spirit going this year and just really make those connections with community, like Dean said, that's such an important aspect of where we are in the times that we're in. And there's a couple of tunes I think we're going to bring back because they were just really well received. And there's nothing more exciting than seeing an audience out there dancing and just having the best time. So that's the plan.
Yeah, last year it was 1 o'clock and we were like, okay, we're done, everybody.
Yeah,
they were
still motivated.
Yeah, they were having a very good time.
We were feeling the love.
Yeah.
In terms of the vocal range that you have, you were in Nashville, and I think there was a performance at Carnegie Hall that you had. What was that like for you in those arenas, if you will, in those halls, performing your craft with your voice?
Well, I've been very fortunate that I've had a very well-versed upbringing in music. I started in classical violin, and that was my first love. And then I fell into singing and songwriting and went on to Grant MacEwan. And then my opportunities came in Nashville. So I boldly went and enjoyed that experience for a couple of decades, but also had some things that were outside of that genre, like the Carnegie Hall experience. And probably the most wonderful experience of my life was singing with the Jazz Orchestra and the Symphony a few years back at TCU Place. So lots of good memories, and just the opportunity to sing so many different genres just really feels like a special, opportunity for me. So.
Do you find that when you're with an orchestra, larger or smaller, that takes a little more effort to try and find the rhythm with the musicians and get that rehearsal kind of down pat so that all the notes and the rhythms are flowing easily?
Well, that's when I just feel so fortunate to be working with such a musical mastermind as Dean. He really is the driving force behind that. And there's something really beautiful when you have a lot of like minds and the energy's just aligning musically. There's a magic that happens that really is quite special. So it just kind of happens by osmosis.
Yeah, this is, if you don't mind jumping in, this is a very special community. Like I've lived in Dallas and Montreal, grew up in Edmonton, Alberta. I've been here 25 years, and there's like it's hard to put your finger on, but like a sincerity, which is the wrong word because other communities are sincere as well. But there's kind of this openness or this willingness to help each other out. Maybe it's our socialist roots in Saskatchewan, I don't know. But it really struck me as being very special when I first got here. And so with the Jazz Orchestra, this is the concert you're referring to with the symphony, we used, if I can put it this way, the Saskatoon Jazz Orchestra to create an opportunity to showcase, and we have to be careful when we use terms like local talent, because I don't think of you as a local talent, I think of you as a national or international talent that happens to live here, right? But we used the SJO to create this opportunity. We did a concert with you at the Broadway Theater, it went great. We then talked to the symphony and said, why don't we, like the Saskatoon Symphony, right? Let's do something at the main stage of TCU Place and feature Jessica and do some other things. And they were like, yeah, sure. That would not happen in that way in these bigger centers where you can just kind of start with an idea and just kind of play it forward, pay it forward. So it's a very special community, and we have had all these great opportunities to play in different venues. We're going to be playing, the SJO will be playing at the Basement in the new year to do a CD release of some younger composers' original music, and the Basement's like, yeah, come on in. So it's really, there's something special about this community, where crazy ideas can seem to move forward with not a lot of headwind. It really is something. And then when we say you said you just wrote this tune. Mm-hmm. We talked to that guy the other day. He's going to arrange the tune, so we're going to premiere a song of Jessica's at the gig, which is also going to help, promote your wonderful album coming out, and just, so it is, I feel very fortunate to work with people who are willing to take risks and, just take risks, basically, and say, let's give it a go. Like, it's really cool.
And this isn't going to be your first album either. You've got a number of others that you've released over the while.
This will be the fourth project.
Wow.
But the first one in many years. I have 3 beautiful daughters that I've been focusing on. So now, as they start to develop their own wings, I'm also going back to my roots, actually, because some of the material on this album is going back to my days in Grant MacEwan when I was singing R&B and jazz and all of those good things.
Is album a proper word, or do we say CD, or do we go into digital?
That's the question of the century.
Yeah.
I'm actually planning to press to vinyl, so I can legitly say album.
I'm looking forward to this. Is there anything that we can do in advance of December 31 that we would get tickets at TCU Place? And
Yeah, you get tickets at TCU Place. They're selling tickets. It's kind of an interesting concept, actually. It feels like a fancy gala fundraiser, but nobody's asking anybody to donate any money to anything. It's a night out, so you can come. Last year we had couples, and they bought a table for two, and they said, we're going to eat and we're going to dance and leave us alone. We had tables of 6, 8, and 10, so like big groups came and people pulling chairs together and having a party, you know. So you can get tickets on TCU Place if you just type in TCU Place, A Night to Remember. You can get the tickets there. I think the tickets, there's a number left, but I think they are selling well, so we're excited about that. And to what degree we will get to a sellout, I don't know. It's this particular show is the TCU Place's show, so they've hired the SJO, and I'm kind of curating the music in consultation with the guest artists. But it's the TCU Place is running this. And I think it's a smart move on their part because, you know, even before COVID, I don't think there was a lot to do for the 25 and older crowd. In the old days, you know, New Year's Eve was the busiest night of the year.
Exactly.
There'd be like 10 big bands in Edmonton when I was growing up playing, you know. And somehow, maybe with social media or whatever, it's gotten quieter and quieter. So this really is to say, you know, let's bring in the new year, have some fun, put on a fancy dress and a swanky suit or whatever, and go have some fun. So yeah.
Dance the night away, enjoy some food and drink, and 3 musicians in addition to yourself, right?
Yeah, we have our guest artists are Jillian Ramsey, who's a wonderful vocalist in our community, graduate of the U of S, Jessica, and then Graham Dick, who's a well-known male singer in town, and we're excited about all that music that we're putting together with all 3 of them.
Perfect. Dean and Jessica, thank you so much for coming down today. We'll see you on the 31st.
Hope to see you there.
Absolutely.
Good.
Thank you.
That's our show for today. I'd like to thank our guests, Dean McNeil and Jessica Robinson. Want to thank all of you for watching Connect. I'm your host, Randy Shabila. We'll see you next time.